Hello and welcome to week 15 of Organization Leadership and Decision Making. My name is Dr. Alan Dennis. I am your instructor. Our agenda for today is we'll go over the assignments and then we'll talk about the reading. First, the assignments. During week 15, we're going to cover information about leadership and communication within organizations. By the end of the week, you should be able to understand the various components of followership, explain the Big Five personality model, and you're to have read chapter 13 within the text, and you want to go take a test on the Big Five personality model. For week 15's discussion, discuss Howell and Mendez's three perspectives on followership. Note how these behaviors influence work productivity. What is the Big Five personality model? What is the Myers-Briggs test? How is it similar to the Big Five model? How is it different? Be sure to answer all the questions in your initial post. Also, make sure that you respond to two of your classmates, and doing so in a constructive way. Examples of constructive ways are listed. Make sure that, as always, you're meeting the word count and following APA guidelines. Next week is going to be around the thinking back over the course and essentially reflecting over what we discussed. There's no reading activities for that week. It is a short week, therefore you want to get your discussion post in quickly and early. Be sure to engage well before the end of the course, which is usually on Fridays or on Wednesdays. Make sure that you do reflect over the overall course, and in particular, think back over the course and think about what other topics you would have liked to have discussed that were not. What reading did you find most interesting and why? Has this course changed perspectives or your outlook moving forward? Any other topics that you would like to discuss? The rubric for any written assignments, the same as it's been throughout the course. And now moving on to the reading. Again, within the text, Organizational Leadership by John Bratton. We're into part 4, Contemporary Leadership, and we're talking about chapter 13, Followers, Communication, and Leadership. After completing this chapter, you should be able to explain the advantages of follower-centric approaches to our understanding of leadership and leader-follower dyads. Understand the significance of personality theories for understanding followership. Identify the different theories, theoretical perspectives, and paradoxes related to follower motivation. Appreciate the role of dialogic communication in the leadership process. The nature of followership. From follower-centric to followership. The problem with assumption that typical followership behaviors involve deference to their leaders gives rise to reduced responsibility taking and initiative and increased reliance on the leader for motivation. And that's according to Olben and Palaya in 2007. Rather than considering how followers view their leaders and their leaders' behaviors, a focus on followership considers how followers view their own behaviors and roles when engaging with leaders. An understanding of individual behaviors is an essential prerequisite to the exploration of dyadic relationships and between leaders and the key players in work groups, leading to the need to reassess the role of individuals in terms of their capacity to shape leader-follower relations through their personality and perception. Personality is defined as a relatively enduring pattern of thinking, feeling, and acting that characterizes a person's unique responses to her or his environment. And that's according to Bratton 2015. There are two broad perspectives. There's the non-Matheic approach, describes personality in terms of measurable traits he or she exhibits. The ideographic approach suggests that personality can be shaped and that both personality and behaviors are determined by specific social experiences. So the basic idea here is that you can either study it from how someone behaves, or you can study it thinking that maybe they behave the way they do because of the social experiences they've been through. A trait theory, a group of things that that are basically defined by the introversion extroversion framework, the Big Five personality framework, the Myers-Briggs type indicator, or the dark triad. Those are all types of trait theory oriented frameworks. The social cognitive theory, things that are related to that are social or reinforcement value, self-efficacy, and two-dimensional taxonomy of follower behavior. Follower behavior and motivation. Motivation is responsible for why people decide to do something, how much effort they are willing to put into it, and how long they're going to sustain that level of effort. There's the content theories, assumes that a common set of basic needs which energize or motivates individuals. Process theories attempt to identify and explain how work-related behaviors are stimulated or hindered. And table 9.4 is a classification of motivational theories. Content theories include hierarchy of needs, that's Maslow, and two-factor need theory and achievement need theory. Process theories include equity theory, expectancy theory, and goal setting theory. Follower behavior and motivations continued. Followers with needs, the hierarchy of needs theory, two-factor theory, achievement need theory, ERG theory. However, conceptually flawed, strongly informed by Anglo-American culture of individualism, and there is an assumption that needs motivator regardless of the gender, ethnicity, or sexual orientation. Another sort of set of approaches is the follower with choices. This is about equity theory, expectancy theory, goal setting theory. Leaders and managers should identify the needs and ambitions of each employees, the outcomes for each wants, while avoiding any form of stereotyping. Recognize that followers differ in their personality, needs, and expectations. Dialogic, conversation, and leadership. Dialogic model of communication is driven by an exchange of views and is further discussed into two approaches: prescriptive, which is around figure 9.2 there, and descriptive, which is described in figure 9.3. Two different high-level approaches to this topic. And with that, we reach the end of the material. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. That's what I'm here for. Stay safe, and we will speak again next week.